what's going on the inside of Jupiter? Well, we think that the core is some sort of icy core. The mantle is some sort of liquid metal, some kind of slush, however made out of hydrogen, which is weird. So you take hydrogen, which is the lightest element on Earth, I guess on Earth being the key there, and it's compressed down so much that it turns into a liquid, and when it does that, it actually takes on metal properties. So it's a metallic liquid hydrogen, and it's a fairly good conductor of heat, and this is swirling around, making a very strong magnetic field. Now, Jupiter does have, and most planets do, they're a little bit squished, and they call this the equator bulge, where it's actually bulging out at the equator, and the poles are a little bit flat. If it was just hydrogen and helium, the planet would actually be flatter, but there's other things in there to make it not so flat, I guess. And then the core. Like I said, we think it has some sort of icy or rocky core. We're not sure if it's solid or semi-solid. We're not sure if it has some iron. Probably not a lot if it does, because it's not, the whole planet is not very dense. However, the core we think might be denser. We might be where all the density is actually coming from. But it's still a big core, even though it looks like it's not big in this picture. Compared to Earth, it's very big, because the planet is very big. So the core is actually 10 times the size of the planet Earth. And that's just the core. So I hinted that Jupiter has a strong magnetic field made out of liquid hydrogen that's spinning around, right? Well, its magnetic field works very similar to ours. You got the Van Allen belts, it deflects all the solar flares away, you get the auroras, blah blah blah. Right? However, this magnetic field is 20,000 times stronger than Earth's. And I have this picture here because, I mean, there's Earth, you can see a tiny little dot. Jupiter, you can see it's banding. And the Sun, well, why is the Sun there? Because Earth's magnetic field, sorry, not Earth's, Jupiter's magnetic field is bigger than the Sun. So if you kind of place Jupiter in the middle of the Sun there, its magnetic field is bigger than that. That's a large and strong magnetic field. The other interesting thing about the magnetic field is that it's lopsided. Now, ours is pretty much the same north and south. Jupiter has a little bit towards the Sun. I'm going to say a little bit, 3 million kilometers, so a good bit. But on the other side, actually 600 million kilometers, give or take. So it goes into Saturn's orbit and past Saturn's orbit. Kind of crazy. The magnetic field works similar to Earth's, where everything kind of gets deflected into the poles, and so you get the northern and southern lights, just like you would here on Earth. Alright, so I mentioned there was a little bit more heat than we had thought. So we thought Jupiter was a planet that was about 105 degrees Kelvin. However, when we went up there, and by we I mean like a satellite, and took its actual temperature, we found out it was 125 degrees Kelvin. So there could be heat trapped by the clouds, could be heat left over from formation like I had mentioned before, could be the interior of Jupiter actually used to be hotter than we thought, and it's still leaking heat out.